Hello everyone, Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal, and this is another Vet Education Corner. We're at the Cottonwood Small Animal Clinic, and with me right now I've got Dr. Holland, and we're going to be talking about heartworm prevention, right? I mean, that's a really big fear anyone would have.
I would think so, yeah.
So I guess the first thing is, what can we do? Actually, before you get to that, what is heartworm? How can that happen?
Yeah, so heartworms are literal worms, and they go through the heart. They're introduced by mosquitoes. So the little tiny itty bitty eggs are introduced by mosquitoes. They can be here all the time, as I'm sure you know.
Yeah.
We never quite freeze, so they're here all the time. And they actually overwinter in our oak trees. So every day that it's 65 degrees in January, they pop on out and come say hi.
Now, this is a big deal. I mean, it seems like it's very common for them to get it if they're untreated. So
yes.
What are some of the things that people can do to prevent heartworm?
Right, so there are multiple choices. The old tried and true is going to be your ivermectin chewable once a month, and that's going to be HeartGuard, TriHeart. I'm sure there's a couple other brands, but generally that's the old one. That still works. It's very effective here. There's also other chewables that are once a month, and people like those because there's one that, for example, that does all three. So it does heartworms, fleas, and ticks. That's a one and done.
That's one I use.
Yeah, that's the one I use too, because then I only have to do one thing.
Yep.
And then there's also an annual injection, and so that one actually lasts. It's a relative of ivermectin. It's moxidectin, but it lasts a whole year. So you just come in and get the injection. You don't have to think about it again for a year. So your reminder to come in for an annual also shows up with that same reminder to come get your heartworm injection for your dogs. Okay,
so we think of the heart. How can we visualize just how bad this is? What is it? I mean, how big can they get? How does all that work?
So, they can get pretty large. I don't know exact measurements off the top of my head, but I would say probably pretty long. Okay. And then sometimes your body can fight them off, and not our body, but pets' bodies can fight them off. But what they do is they still have larvae, and they are walled off on the inside of your arteries and vessels and in your lungs. And so even though they might not... I mean, there's still worms in there, true, right? But now they have scar tissue, and they have smaller vessels, and they have lung damage, and so they're getting, cardiac disease, they're getting lung disease, and they're not living as long as we want them.
Yeah.
And they're coughing, and they're miserable, and all of that is hard.
Yeah, I can't imagine not doing whatever you can to prevent that from happening. Well, anything else you can think of?
I just want everybody to know that Shasta and Tehama counties are the two highest positive testing counties in the state of California.
Wow.
Yes.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you gave me such great positive information. But no, we really appreciate you giving us some information on how to prevent it and what it all means. So thank you so much, Dr. Holland. This has been another edition of Vet Education Corner.